Welcome back to F.I.N D Relationship platform. Awesome platform that been a platform that inspires you, brings you a lot of wisdom nuggets that enables you to manage your relationship. Today we are bringing to you what I consider to be one of the most difficult aspects in managing your marriage relationship, and that is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries in your marriage. I consider it to be very difficult because I had a hard time dealing with it. And I think at the early stage of my marriage, I didn't know how to do that, and it brought a lot of problem for us in marriage. And right now, I am really encouraging every young married people to really do it earlier than I did mine. Okay, so today we're dealing with it. And I am here once again with a beautiful dancer, Pastor Love Caleb, my only own. Can you greet the viewers?
Good evening, beautiful people. It's a pleasure having you again. God bless you.
Okay, setting boundaries in your marriage is something that is really important. You see, the issue here is that there's difference between your singlehood and also your married life. One of the challenges that we face today in marriage is that married people want to live like single people in a marriage context, and that is bringing a lot of problem in several marriages. I know a friend of mine that can travel out, leave the husband, and travel out with single people out of the country. And several times I call her, I say, how are you managing this? I know the man must understand. He must understand that these are my friends. We've been friends. And before ever he got married with me, he knows that these are my friends. And most of those friends, they are all single people. How will you be in a married context, and then you are still living like single people? So that's exactly what we want to do today. We want to look at boundaries that we need to set. Woman of God, what do you say about boundary setting before we begin to deal with how to do about it?
Yeah, I think that marriage relationship is like a building. When you want to build a house, you need to make plans, make decisions, set boundaries. This is how many gates it's going to have. This is how far the foundation is going to go. The foundation will not go beyond this or beyond that. The same thing with your relationship. During the time of your dating, those are part of the things you need to look out for. In boundary setting, it's like a building of a house. If you build a house without a fence, if you build a house without a gate, it's a matter of time. If you build a house without a gate, everyone comes in at will. You can't even control what comes into your house. So the same thing if you have a land without a wall, without a fence with gate, it's a matter of time. It will become a place where everyone throw in garbages. So if you want to have a relationship that will survive, from the first day of that relationship, you need to set up boundaries. When you do that, you'll be able to say, this is what we must do or what we must not do.
You're talking about from the point of dating.
Yeah, from the point of dating, you need to make decision. This is the do's and don'ts of this relationship. This is how far we can go, and this is how far we shouldn't go. So setting up a boundary becomes a very important thing in your relationship. Maybe you are married already and you didn't do that. You can still start that.
It's a continuous
thing. You can still make up your mind after this program. You and your spouse make some decisions, get into some agreements that these things that have been going this way ought not to go this way, or things that have been bringing problem between the both of you. You make decisions on how it should go peacefully, not as a battleground.
but you know why I said that it was very difficult for me. We got married. Can I say we were a little bit young when we got married, you know, and then I was a pastor already, and she also was into the ministry. We were both pastors, and you know how pastors' family is. So I couldn't set those boundaries. How do you tell me not to cancel people and bring them into my life? And no, I can't put that. You know, everybody, our house was just like anything. Everybody was just coming in, both those demons who came to church and also angels who came to church. You know, we were going that way without setting boundaries. So I was a little bit radical, open-minded, but a lot of things went wrong. It was a little bit late. We began to. Why I'm saying this is that everybody, it is a continuous learning. No time is late. If you didn't do it at the point of dating, now that your attention is being brought to some of these things, you can start today, even if you've been 20 years or 30 years in marriage. No matter how far you're driven on a wrong road, it will never take you to the destination that you're looking for. So it is important that you set boundaries. And now we want to talk about certain things that are certain issues that has to be looked into. We're not trying to control you. We're not trying to, we don't want you to quarrel with your spouse after this meeting today. You say, okay, God have answered the question. God have reviewed you. This is what I've been saying. That's not what our intention is. But we want to discuss it. You can take up your spouse and talk about it and find out how it works for both of you, and keep on adjusting it until you have come to a place wherein it is perfect for you. The first boundary we want to look at today is this. Can I have an intimate opposite sex friend apart from you?
Yeah, it's a difficult question that I will want to really answer in two different ways.
Okay.
First of all, if it's a new relationship, if it's a relationship that the two of you are getting to know each other, my answer is no. Because relationships need attention. You can't keep two relationships at the same time. Don't forget that the word is intimate. The word intimate is very important.
Very close.
So I say no to that. Because most marriages have been destroyed because of such opposite sex intimate relationship. Don't forget that you are dealing with a human being. You are not dealing with a spirit, either from the man's side or the woman's side. Maybe always you are with that lady, always you are with that man. Sometimes you go out with the lady, you go out with the man, and you are telling your spouse, I knew him or I knew her before I met you. So you're not going to control the way I relate with that man or that woman. My friend, you knew that man or you knew that woman, yet you did not get married to that man. Neither did you get married to that woman. There's a reason why you chose your spouse.
That's true.
There is a reason why you chose your spouse over that man and over that woman. So I think in your relationship, the answer is no. There shouldn't be an intimate relationship between you and an opposite sex. Your husband or your wife should be your best friend. It should be the one you open up whatsoever you call secret, whatever that troubles you. It's your spouse that you need to discuss with, not the opposite sex. Because when you continue relating with that opposite sex, along the line, apart from your husband or your wife, people outside will also begin to rumor things that are not true. And at the end of the day, you mess up your marriage. But there's a point you will grow to, or you will get to, the area where you have bonded. There's a stage we call bonding area, where you have bonded, you are now one. You build a trust with each other. Your husband or your wife knows if you are with this guy, there is nothing going on. You understand? So it means that in such a relationship, your spouse is involved. Your spouse is part of it. So my answer is no, especially when you are not bonded yet.
Okay, my own answer is still no. No. In an ideal situation, your wife, your husband should be your best friend. You're confident, the most intimate relationship should be your spouse. But at the same time, I understand situations whereby husband and wife, they are not all that deeply connected. A situation whereby one of them is not, they're not gelling. You understand what I'm talking about? They don't understand each other when it comes to certain levels of communication. But then you discover that in such relationship is an indication of something that is wrong.
There's problem
in that
in that
particular relationship, because the measure of the health of your relationship is the level of communication. Communication, a sick communication or a poor communication is an indication of a sick relationship. You know, the deeper last week we talked about getting naked with your spouse. So when you begin to communicate your faults, your weaknesses with one another, it is an indication that definitely that relationship is deep. But a situation whereby you have somebody outside that you communicate outside your spouse is an indication that there's a problem, and that can be a cleavage that will lead to problem in your relationship. My answer to this is no. If that is going on right now, you really need to correct it, because as that relationship goes deeper and deeper and deeper, it is going to weaken your bond with your spouse. Please take no other opposite sex in as you are confident. Let your wife, let your husband. If you're not there, begin to work on it until you bring each other. So my answer also is no. The second thing that we deal with here is leaving your relationship open for everybody. Everybody. Would you like to take up that? Leaving your relationship open for everyone. What really do we mean by that?
Yeah, like I said during my introduction, that it's like a building without a gate. When you leave your relationship open to everyone, everyone comes in to do whatever they want. Sometimes you find out that you are not the one in charge of your relationship as a man. There is someone who is in charge of your relationship.
That's right.
The man or the woman decides what you will do and how you're going to manage your home. You see some people say, oh, I need to go seek counseling from my mom. I need to seek counseling from my dad in order to deal with my husband or to deal with my wife.
Wrong.
That is very wrong.
Yeah.
So when you open up your relationship to everyone, it means that everyone will come to sow or put in what they carry. So you need to close up your relationship from let me use the word, the public.
Let me come in there. There was something that we did at the early stage of our marriage that helped us so much. You remember, I read from the book of Genesis chapter 24 that when Isaac got married with Rebekah, this was what happened. They moved into the empty heart of the dead mother, Sarah. Okay? You remember that Abraham kept large family, 318 servants with all the family. They were all in the family. So it was very important that when Rebekah came onto Isaac, the first thing that Abraham did was to allow them to move into the empty heart of Sarah. That's what I saw there. And the moment I saw that, I called my wife's attention and we set up a boundary. This was the boundary that we set, and it helped us so much. We made a decision that nobody from our family, her family, or my family gonna live with us until our marriage had passed 5 years. That was the decision that we made. Nobody from her family, nobody from my family, they can come and visit, but to live with us, we will not permit it, because at that early stage, we are trying to discover ourselves, we are trying to find ourselves, we are trying to find our bond and be able to come together. So we have to shut down our family intrusions. It's very important, very much important. Let me tell you something again that you need to understand. It is important that you don't just run away to your mom and to your dad to take counsel, or your friends also. It is important that you study one another and be open with another and be able to discuss difficult situations through. The issue I'm talking about is that nobody have ever married your husband. Nobody have ever married your wife. Your mom will give you counsel based on what worked with your father. And your father is not the man that you got married to. Your marriage is new. Your marriage is brand new. You've never gone this way before. And it is on the job learning, on the job training. So you need to curtail people who speak into your life. People, especially members of your families and your friends. You really need to hold on to that and be able to shut down. We did it, it worked for us. Today we can live with anybody from any part of our family, because we've already found our bond, we've already known each other. So if there is any difficult or any strange thing that comes in, we know where it is coming from. But it is important that you shut down. You shut down. You restrict every single thing before that. Okay, can we take up one more? What about social media? We are living in the day of social media. As we're about to round up, let's talk about social media. Can we, what do we do? How do we go about WhatsApp, your cell phone, friends on Facebook, and all that? How do we go about social media issue?
Yeah, I think all you need is openness. There is no need of putting in password on your phone. There is no reason why you should have a message that your spouse cannot read. There is no need of keeping a relationship that you don't want your spouse to know anything about. So I think the answer to that is openness. Whatever you know that is going to upset your spouse, don't involve yourself in it. Don't have secrets. See, the truth is that when you find men locking up their phones or women locking up their phones without giving their spouse access, there is something going on. That's just the truth. You can lock up your phone. Maybe you don't want everyone to get access to your phone, but your spouse should know the password.
But another side of it also is that there are some spouse that reads in meaning in what is not there.
They want to die before their time.
You understand what I'm talking about?
Die before your time.
Yeah, because in a situation that are work related, you suspect, you go into your spouse phone, you take the phone and you send messages to every opposite sex there. You suspect everybody, and before the man knows it, you're trying to mess up the person.
That's a sign of insecurity on the side of the woman. What you are telling me, if you send such a message to me, what you are telling me is that you are not a complete woman.
But at the same time, the people who receive that message, they don't even know that it's not coming from you. Because it comes in as if it is you, and you're wondering who is asking me this particular thing. So, but what we are saying here is that openness, that's something you said the other time. I think, was it last week? You said it is not enough for you to tell me to open up to you, but can you handle my nakedness?
Will you love me with my
Will you love me if
mess?
you know me? You understand that? So it is important that we are open, but you need to be able to deal with the nakedness and the openness of your spouse. Where there is insecurity, then there is a huge problem in the relationship. Keep your phones open. How do they say it? Fears no accusation. How do they say it? They said a clear conscience fears no accusation. If you're not doing anything shady, keep your phone open. In fact, let me tell you something. Even when you are doing something, give them the password. It will calm everybody down. You remember one joke we watched on the social media? A man that was taking bath in the bedroom and his phone rang, and the wife said, "Darling, look, your phone is ringing." He ran out naked and fell down on the way. Why? You don't want the wife to be the one that will take that. So don't go through that space, don't go through that area. All you need to do is admit the fact and accept the fact that you are married and build that home. Games outside is of no use except you don't want to live the married life. Can you sign up, Mama?
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please, we want you to make use of what we are teaching. Some of them are a part of our experience. We share it with you so that you don't go through what we went through. God bless you.
Okay, don't go through what we've gone through. Learn from us. God bless you for this episode. We will see you next time. Thank you, then G, Jojo, and Nat. Thank you for this wonderful episode. God bless you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.